couple people, and by a couple I mean literally just a couple, I think it was like 3 people now, that have messaged me and asked about how I apply peel base to my nail and get it to work. I know that for a lot of people it's trial and error, so you're just gonna kind of have to find what works for you. I know that it took me quite a few months to, I would say probably like a month, to get it figured out for me and what was going to work for me. So the peel base I use is the UNT Ready for Takeoff peel base. Always, it's the only one that will work for me. I've tried Sparkle & Co. and I couldn't get that one to work. So my nails are a bit messed up right now. So I have been experimenting with polygel just to see if I liked it. So that is what is on this one and this one. This nail fell off, so I decided I don't like the clear tip because I feel like it makes my dip powder come out a bit see-through at the tip, and I don't like that. So for this one, I put a tip on and I put polygel. So this one is going to look different, and that is okay. I will make it work. So right now I put my tip on. I will link the ones I used down below, but the last time that I checked, these were like $16.99 or something like that. It was ridiculously priced. So if there's still that, I'm just gonna say find a cheaper tip because that's just ridiculous. So I've cut it down, kind of got my shape figured out and what I want, and as you can see, it is not flush with my nail, but the reason I like these tips is that they are not a thick tip, so I don't have to file that much. So I'm just going to take my file and just very gently, I'm aiming literally right here at the edge where the tip meets my nail, and I'm just going to keep going like this until I get what I want. And you want to make sure that you're not filing your actual nail, because you will create a ring of fire on your nail, which is just where you have kind of like a indent in your nail. Just like that. And then I'm going to also file the rest of my tip, just so that it's not a smooth surface. So there we go. You can actually, I probably could file a little bit more. It's kind of hard to do this on camera. So props to all of you that file on camera and make it look good. Okay, so that's better. The next thing I'm going to do, and I didn't get any out, hang on, I need to grab a Q-tip and rubbing alcohol, and I do this just to get rid of all of the particles that are left on my nail from filing. So just my nail filings, I don't know what they're called. Okay, so just like that. And is that better or worse? I don't know. Let me get my finger rest. Maybe that'll help. So then what I'm going to do is Manny Mix Nails actually is coming out with her own pH prep. So that is what I'm going to use today because that's what I have. You can use whatever pH prep that you want. I just strongly recommend it because it gets rid of the oils on your nail. So just like that. And I'm only putting it on my actual nail because it's not going to matter if it's on the tip or not. So now what I'm going to do is apply my clear, and for my clear I use Crystal Clear from Sparkle & Co. And I have the Big Mama Jamma, and all I do is I just transfer this into these little containers just so that I'm not contaminating my entire thing of clear with glitter or anything like that. This is the one that I use for my solids, and then I have just an empty container that I had that I use for my glitters. This is already 6 minutes long and I'm explaining stuff that doesn't matter. Surprise. Alright, so I am just going to use my triple vitamin Pro Base. And for my first coat, let me move this over. I am going to wipe my brush really good where there's not really any product on my brush because I am going to build up my apex. So I'm avoiding my sidewalls and I'm just putting this here kind of in the center where I'm going to want my apex. I didn't used to do this. I used to just put 2 coats of clear and called it good. So you totally could do that if you wanted to. But I find that I like the look of my nail better if I have some form of curve to it. So that is what I'm going to show you how I do that. Hey Jack.
Yeah?
Would you want to turn this light in this room on for me to see if it helps my video? It's kind of dark. It didn't. Thank you though. And then for my second coat, I'm going to go in and again wipe my brush so that I don't have, there's like no product really on there. And what I'm going to do is go down the center part of my nail. Yeah, I should have filed my where my nail meets the fake nail meets my real nail. I should have filed that a little bit more, but it will be a-okay. So just like that. It's still kind of flat, so I'm going to actually go in with another one. So I guess this is going to be kind of like 2 videos in one because it can be how I build my apex with dip powder, and then also how I apply. So again, I'm just going to right in the center, avoiding my sidewalls, and I'm going to dip again. It's going to depend though on your nail. My ring finger especially is very flat. I have a very flat finger. So, and I'm actually just going to right kind of in the center, I'm going to add a ball of my Pro Base and dip again. There we go. Now we have gotten somewhere. Jack, can you stop with the chair?
It's on my phone.
Well, try not to move so much. There we go. So now I have an apex going, and then what I'm going to do is go into my pro base, wipe one side. You're gonna have about like that on there, if you can see. And then avoiding my cuticle area, I'm just going to go in and apply a coat of clear to my nail. Just like that. Okay, let's look at this and see. Okay, so I'm actually going to do one more coat of this and get just a smidge closer to my cuticle, because if you leave too much space by your cuticle, I've found, or if you leave it too thin, sorry. If you leave it too thin by your cuticle, I found that when you peel your peel base off, it will actually take off the clear. So I'm gonna go all the way to the free edge, dip my nail again, and if I got too close to my cuticle, which I did in this one spot over here, I'm just going to take a toothpick and wipe that off. Just like that. Okay, so that is done. And I'm going to wipe off as much of the clear powder. I mean, I'm really rubbing and scrubbing away, making sure that I'm getting as much of that off as I can. I'm going to take my Mani Mix Nails activator and I'm going to activate this. You want to make sure that you activate so that you are able to go in and file and buff your nail, because you want your nail completely smooth before you apply your peel base, or it's not going to, your nail is not going to pop off. If you have a lot of roughness or anything like that. And as you can see, I prefer the way that the white looks over how the clear does on my nail personally. That's just personal preference. Hopefully there's some of this I can cut out, because I wasn't expecting this to be so ridiculously long. But it's my video, so of course it is. Alright, so now we're going to take our nail file and we are going to start filing our shape. I personally like to start at the side of my nails. Like that. And then I got my apex bump just a little bit over to the right side, a little bit too much, I think. So I'm just taking my file and just kind of pushing like this in one direction to start filing down and shaping my clear. But I don't want to take off, you know, too many of my layers. Okay, so that looks good. Okay. So that's what it looks like after I do that. And then I'm going to take one of my buffing blocks, and on the coarsest side, I'm just going to start rubbing my nail away. So it can go like this way, like this way. Just get in there and start buffing. I'm kind of avoiding the center. I'm doing more so around the outside of my nail, just so that I'm not taking away from my apex. So just like that. Okay. All right. And when I feel my nail right now, there's absolutely no grittiness. There's no lines. I don't feel any kind of indents. Nothing is on my nail that is going to make it so that my peel base is not going to pop off. Like, this is smooth as a baby's bottom, completely smooth, and that is exactly what you want before you apply your peel base. So let me get rid of my pro base. I'm going to add my peel base into my holder. And now let's get started on how I apply my peel base to my nail. When I go into my bottle, I don't really wipe either side of this. So I kind of dip it in. As I'm pulling it out, I'm letting it kind of drag on the other side of the bottle. It takes a little bit of the excess peel base off, but I'm leaving like a lot on there. I mean, I don't think you can tell. Yeah, you can't tell. Okay. So I don't wipe off. I don't do thin layers. I do 2 very thick layers where I'm kind of just floating this over my nails. And I found if I do too thin of layers, my dip powder will not pop off. And I like to change my nails every 1 to 2 days. But it honestly is going to depend on your body chemistry and how your nail reacts to the peel base. Some people can do 1 coat and just avoid their free edge, their sidewalls, and their cuticle area, and theirs will pop off in like 3 to 4 days. Some people can do 1 entire coat, reaching all areas of their nail, and they can get up to like a week. So it honestly, it really just depends, but I mean, you just kind of have to experiment and see what works for you. But this is exactly what I do. I leave a ton of product on my brush. So I'm gonna let this completely dry. You want this absolutely not wet, not like any kind of texture, nothing. Like, you want to let this completely dry, and it's going to take probably anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes for the first coat. And then when I do my second coat, I will come back and show you how I do that, which is how I do the first coat, but I'm going to show you the process. Okay, so these are completely dry. If I go like this, there's nothing tacky. It just feels like my nail, and it's not like wiping off when I touch my nail or anything. So then I'm going to do the same exact process again, avoiding touching my sidewalls and my cuticle, because even though it's clear, if you leave that on your cuticle or your sidewalls, you're going to have your dip powder, when you dip your finger, sticking to that. So you just want to be careful doing that. But that is it. So I'm going to let this completely dry, like 5 to 7 minutes, before I apply any kind of dip powder. So this is going to be uploaded, I don't know. Somebody asked me if I could do a video on how to do ombre nails. I don't know if this is going to be uploaded first or if I'm going to upload my ombre nail video first. I don't know, but these will kind of go back to back. So the next part of this video is going to be you watching me remove these after a day of whatever dip powder that I wear. So I'll be back in like 24-ish hours. Okay, everyone, it's the next day, and this is what my nails look like. My thumbnail popped off already, but that's just because I had only done one coat on my thumb, which is what I normally do. So this is what my nails look like. I have a little cut right here, and I don't know what it's from. Living my best life, I guess. But before I take my nails off, I usually will apply a cuticle oil. This is the scent Beach Bum by Manny Chic Nails. Chic. And it's her rollerball. This is like a coconut banana sunscreeny scent. It's really nice for summer. Okay, so to remove my nails, if you can see, here's white, which is going to be the tip that I glued on. In the middle of that is going to be my clear, which is what I had, you can see kind of like from the tip, I guess. My clear, which is what I had used on this one, was poly gel. So what you want to do is you want to take something, I just have this thing that on the other end is a cuticle pusher. I guess if you want to. I see a lot of people do this. I normally don't, but I will just for video sake. Just file gently around each of my nails to kind of break the seal and see if I can get these to pop off easier. Okay, so I filed just a smidge. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to kind of work your, whatever you're using. Okay, so see, I kind of just, let me do the next nail and try to explain it better. I kind of just keep running the pointy end of whatever I'm using in between, like right at the top of where my dip powder is, and I kind of just keep rubbing it until it cracks the surface. I don't know if you could see that, but it kind of turned white right there where the tip of my tool got underneath of the surface where I want it. That is dried glue on my hand, so just ignore that. It's kind of hard to do this and keep my finger in frame. Okay, there you go. You see it like cracked. Okay, so that's literally all that I do to remove my nails. So again, I got underneath of the top layer. So I'm not digging like down into the side of my finger. I'm literally staying right on the top, right underneath of the color that I put down. And my nails pop right off, no issue. Like I said though, it's just kind of hard to, and if I can't get one side, I will go to the other side, try that if I can't get that side. And if you really can't get it, you can also take cuticle nippers and just kind of dig into the top of the dip powder you have down and just kind of get it started like that. And there you go, it just pops off. So now my nails are still smooth, and if they're not, I just would take a buffing block and buff any roughness off, put my peel base on again, and I'm ready to go. So that is how easy it is. Hopefully me showing how I do my peel base instead of trying to like write it out and explain is more helpful to anybody that needs it. So that is it. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.